Radio Network. Time to take a look at that midday livestock trade with livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted. And Kyle, live and feeder cattle looking pretty good except for that May feeder contract, which of course is going off the board today. What's your take?
Well, that's right, sir. We do have the May feeders going off the board here in about 60 minutes here at noon Central Time. They go off, and those are going to be cash settled against the index. So if you're still involved in those, they'll just cash settle out there when the Merc updates their feeder cattle index price here, which is going to be marked against the sales that are taking place here yet today in the country. So we got to get today's numbers in there, get the average in, and then we'll go ahead and probably get that number printed sometime tomorrow, or get at least a decent preliminary number printed sometime tomorrow. Now, today's index is looking like it's going to be down here about $1.96 here to that 295.68 area. Yesterday's number going into that was 295.96 on 4,854 head. Now, the wild card today is going to be, we have some big sales. We have some in South Dakota, North Dakota, here in Nebraska, and a decent one in Kansas that's been pulling the sleigh as well, too. So, wouldn't surprise me, we could see these May feeders go off around 296 and possibly as high as 297, depending on how today's sales go. It's really hard to pin those down because those northern sales here are such wild cards here, or have been such wild cards here to the upside. Now, on the cash side of cattle, on the cash cattle side of things here on live cattle, we've seen as high as 231 and 232 trade here in eastern Nebraska as well as eastern Iowa, and some of those are going to regional packers, some of those are going to major packers. Yesterday afternoon after the close, we did see 231 trade here on about 3,000 head here in central and eastern Nebraska to go to an eastern Nebraska major. So that likely had this market fired up here from the get-go this morning. We set out with an open price low here in this August contract. 209 was our open.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Kyle Bumsted, and you can call him at 308-708-7340. And you're listening to the Rural Radio Network.
There are three big reasons growers choose crop hail insurance from Farm Credit Services of America. One, they trust our expertise to deliver the right coverage. Two, we work with several companies so they'll get the right product. And three, should their crops ever get hail, they'll get the right service. Get the crop hail coverage that's right for you. Call Farm Credit Services of America and see for yourself. 1-800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Deciding on a college with your high school senior can be a little overwhelming for parents. But applying for money to pay for it is simple. FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is now easier than ever with fewer questions and faster fill-out times. If you have a high school senior, now is the time to apply for thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing. Get started, Nebraska, at dothefafsa.org. Sponsored by Education Quest Foundation. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is a market update. I'm Bruce Gorder on the Rural Radio Network. There's very little wheat-related news to trade on today, but word that Russian wheat is by far the cheapest offer for summer months is adding some pressure. Russian new crop FOB wheat offers are reported to be as low as $225 to $227 a metric ton, roughly a $10 metric ton discount to the U.S. Gulf wheat. Also, consultancy Soy Econ raised Russian grain production by 1.7 million metric tons, and wheat accounts for 1.2 million metric tons of that increase to 81 million metric tons. On the bullish note, dryness continues to plague wheat areas in Western Europe, Eastern Ukraine, and southwestern Russia and the China plains. Right now, July corn is trading up 2 1/4 at 4.63 1/4. December down a half at 4.55. July soybeans 5 1/4 higher at 10.68. November up 3 1/4 at 10.55 1/2. July wheat in Chicago is trading 3 3/4 lower at 5.45 1/2. July wheat in Kansas City down 1/4 cent at 5.40 1/4. And Minneapolis spring wheat for July is trading down 6 cents at 5.98 1/4. June live cattle up $1.77 at $215.92. August up $2.22 at $210.85. August feeder cattle up $3.02 at $299.47. September up $3.27 at $298.32. June lean hogs down 37 cents at 99.15. July down 15 at 102.37. Class 3 milk for June is up 4 cents at 19.67. The July contract up 9 at 19.74. This is the